Do you find yourself eating when you're upset or maybe feeling stressed? When you're feeding an emotional need versus a real hunger, you may turn to unhealthy foods or even comfort foods. So we turn to a psychologist to find out ways to stop emotional eating and why beating yourself up when you do can also be harmful. If you tend to turn to food when you're sad or stressed, you're not alone. Dr. David Creel with Cleveland Clinic says emotional eating is very common, but it's not a surprise that it's also unhealthy.
Food is accessible, it's legal, it's socially acceptable to do, and people even joke about it. There have been commercials about, when we're upset, we tend to eat. So it's very common, but at the same time, especially for people who might struggle with excess weight, it can be a pretty serious condition as well.
Dr. Creel says the weight gain from emotional eating can put a person at risk for issues like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and heart disease. And there are psychological concerns as well. For example, they may experience guilt or shame after emotional eating. So he offers ways other than emotional eating to kind of cope when you're upset. So consider, for example, talking with a friend instead of turning to food. You can also try some deep breathing exercises. Doing a workout could also help you cope. And speaking with a therapist can help you tackle what's caused you to emotionally eat in the first place. But if you do find yourself turning to food, Dr. Creel says it's very important to practice self-compassion.
What benefit do we have by beating ourselves up? People say, well, if I'm not hard on myself, I'm not going to change this. And actually, the literature supports the opposite. When we're able to show ourselves a bit of grace and self-compassion, we can say, hey, although I'm not happy I did this, I look at some of the factors that maybe led to it, and I can change that in the future.
Dr. Grill says that sleep can also play a big role with your appetite as well. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, it could make you hungrier and then lead to emotional eating. To help with that, he suggests trying to relax before bed and keeping a consistent bedtime.